Hey guys, this is Comic Ken, and well, a few days ago I came back from the bookstore with my severe book buying problem, which is actually less severe than it has been in recent years. But I went out with a friend. We have our once every few months hangout, and so we go to Half Price Books, and if I'm in a bookstore, I'm probably not going to leave without getting something if there's something good on the shelf. So let me take you through what I bought at my last visit to the bookstore. So, first up, we got Terraform Mars in Japanese. And when I saw it, I was just like, oh, snap. Okay. All right, we're cooking here. Because I'd read some Terraform Mars like back in the day. And apparently it had a really bad anime adaptation. And I saw parts of it. It was just super weirdly censored. But the manga itself was just like interesting and crazy and violent. And it's actually it's actually where I get a lot of my Uncanny Valley type drawing tendencies. Where the monsters that they're fighting in this story are just weird humanoid cockroaches, and they have these weird bug eyes that you're just like, oh, that's creepy, dude. I don't want to have to deal with that. And for some reason they're just super strong, like insanely strong, and then the whole of Mars is overrun with these weirdos, and now they have to fight their way through if they want humanity to expand, and they have to deal with these things. So I always thought this story was interesting, and I was really glad to get a copy of the Japanese volume 1. Anytime I can find a volume 1 of something, I'm like, yeah, let me hold that. And really, I'm not like a collector in that I'm trying to keep everything pretty and nice and super good. Like, I'm just in it for having the art, or even having a Japanese version of something that I can read. So, yeah, that's number 1, Terraform Mars. And number 2 is Tower Dungeon, number 1 in Japanese. That is Tsutomu Nihei's latest work, the creator of Blame, Biomega, and Knights of Sidonia. I actually didn't realize I had so much Nihei work. I'm still saving up to buy the entire run of Blame, just so that I'll have it. You know what I mean? Like, I was thinking, should I get the Tokyo Pop version, or maybe every volume in Japanese? I don't want the master version, because it looks too different from how I envisioned Blame to be. So, but talking about Tower Dungeon, when I flip through it, it's like, this guy is caring less and less about the art, really. Like, he's drawing a very pared down version of his normal style. Like, the lines are a lot more uniform, kind of like how Tatsuki Fujimoto with Chainsaw Man draws. And he's not caring about he's not caring as much about line width and variation and whatnot. And in fact, the way he draws the story, or the way he's writing it, is more conventional than what he usually does, or what I'm used to seeing his work do. Like, even in Knights of Sidonia you could see it, but there's a lot more dialogue balloons, a lot more talking, a lot more character interactions and stuff. But at the same time, hey, we got a tower, we got a weird place, we got an interesting structure to explore. So that is always like the main thing that I'm interested in when I come to a Nihei work. He's always got this structure, or this mega structure, this huge place that the characters are going to be exploring, and it's going to be really interesting to see how this story turns out. Because hey, if it's called Tower Dungeon and Tsutomu Nihei is writing it, it's going to be mostly about the tower. And no matter how he draws, I'm just like, he can do no wrong, really, because his style is so unique that I consider him almost like Picasso, where he started off like really super hyper detailed, and then over time he was just like, I'm gonna pare it down to something that's really, really basic, to the most basic black and white, and reach the level that we currently have in Tower Dungeon. So yep, that was the second book I bought. I was just like, yep, that's a steal. And then I'm gonna show you these two. I bought Love Hina number 1 and 2. This was actually what I replaced the Japanese number 1 of One Piece and the Japanese number 1 of Berserk. And I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna get Love Hina. And why did I get these instead of that? I don't know. I have no idea. But the thing about Ken Akamatsu's artwork, the way he draws, is that it eventually evolves into what you quintessentially understand as, like, it eventually evolves into like the quintessential art style of the late 2000s of manga and anime. Like, it evolves, and I like having his early work to see where he started from and how it evolves over time through from Love Hina to Negima to UQ Holder. I like seeing how his style evolved over time, because earlier on he uses there's times where he uses a lot of panels on a page, and he really packs his pages with a lot of stuff happening, a lot of words, a lot of sound effects, just a lot of action and in small tight spaces. And it's just like, dang, you're really overloading the panel sometimes. But then you get to UQ Holder later on, and it's like, okay, yeah, he finally like found and mastered what he was going for. And I like seeing the progression of his style over time to what he eventually came to, and now he's a politician. So, but I think what he's a politician for is that he's like a lobbyist for creative freedom in manga or in like the creative arts. And the reason I traded out that for One Piece and Berserk is that those are so popular that I can find them at any point. Like I already have them both in English, and if I wanted the Japanese version, I could find them at any point. Like, they'll be lying somewhere around, and I would be like, oh yeah, the Japanese version of Berserk or One Piece, and I'll just grab it later on. But yeah, that's why I went for that, because it's a lot more rare to find. Like, when I saw it, I was just like, well, now I got it. Especially when I see a number 1 and a number 2 together, I'm just like, all right, well, gotta have both. And the last book I picked up is kind of a weird wild card. You'd never really expect it. I didn't even expect to buy it, but when I flipped through it, I was just like, okay, yeah, this kind of looks like what Saintly is. Like, it kind of looks and has the vibe of Saintly without being anything like it at all. But it's called Kase-san and Shortcake, and I've never read this. This is volume 3. I didn't see a volume 1 or anything. I was just like, you know what? This style is so close to what I want. Not necessarily. I don't want Saintly to look exactly like this, but it just has the vibe, or it has, like, this is a show. You know, it's a Yuri. I'm pretty sure it's a Yuri, but it's just got the type of things that I would want to put inside of Saintly, in terms of the paneling, in terms of the character interaction, how they're looking at each other, the line work, all that kind of stuff, that I can't get from reading Dragon Ball for the 100th time. You know what I mean? Like, this is something I've never read or ever seen, but it has something in its style that I can 100% use for drawing Saintly. So, yep, it's got a lot of stuff in there. So, yeah, it's just a quick pickup that I was just like, you know what, maybe there's something to it and something I can use for Saintly. That's how I judge most of the manga and the comics that I pick up. I'm just like, can I use this art, or can I learn something from this art and put it into my own stories and my own work? And yeah, that is it. That is the stack of books that I bought from Half Price. And it might be a few months before I go again, but yeah, I'm just gonna go through them. I've been actually like literally reading through Love Hina in Japanese. I'm just like, okay, well, let's see how much I can actually understand of the story, just based on trying to read the Japanese at the 3rd grade level that I have. So so I'm able to read through a lot of it and piece together the grammar that I barely know and make some semblance of a story that's occurring. But it's very, very slow going, and I just have to keep pushing through and look up what I can. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And if you would like to check out my webcomic, which will one day be in a bookstore near you, it is a horror action comedy called Saintly. It is a demon chase horror action comedy about 2 best friends who have to outrun the demon loan sharks that they borrowed from. Basically, it's like Scooby-Doo meets K-pop Demon Hunters without the K-pop. And the story backs the main character into a corner where she has to decide between the hard path to success or lose her soul to the lure of easy money. And we get to see the ramifications of her choice, and if she can hide this deal with the devil from her friend, or if it will tear them apart. And I hope you read my comic in the description and check out the story. It should appear in your email inbox or your spam folder if you don't see it. So thank you for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.